Hello, hello, everybody. This is Carrie again. Welcome back. I'm glad you're here. Well, I have created some different type of embellishments, and I've had some requests to make a video. So I'm going to show you how I did it. So this is what they look like. I've got a pen up here that I have dyed with alcohol ink. And it has a couple of little daisies on it. Then I put a chain, two jump rings, and then I made this frame. I put some music paper inside, a little piece of lace that I cut out and inked, and a button. Over here is one of those little miniature Tim Holtz pins. I put beads on it, and one of my beaded dangles, and a Swarovski crystal. Inside I've got music page, and there you can see the music again, another side of the music page. And this one's pretty much created the same way, different embellishments here or there. And I've got a little key and a little teeny tiny paper clip hanging over here. And that's what the back of that one looks like. Okay. And then I have some of these guys, and these are all going to be some of these are going to be for sale in my next YouTube sale that I do. This one is done with measuring tape, and it happened to be a paper tape, and I put it in there, and I put, what do you call it? This stuff right here, glossy accents. I put glossy accents on there and made a shiny finish, and it hangs from a bulb pin that's hanging from a jump ring, and then I've got a beaded dangle there, a dangle here, and a little dangle here. Let me turn that around so you can see it. This is a just a little round, what do you call it? A bezel, I think it is. A little round flat piece, and I, believe it or not, had a picture tiny enough to put down in there. So I just put her down in there and just put some sealer on that. This one is a little bit different. I had seen somebody make something similar to this, and they used leather here, and I thought the leather was so pretty, but the faux leather that I've got, I didn't like the back side of it. So this is just cardstock, and I embossed it with an embossing folder, and then I rubbed ink on the high edges, and I've just put a fiber here. This is another one of those inked paper clips, not paper clips, safety pins, if you want to know how I got that color. And then I just hung some beautiful dangles from it. So we're going to start with these two right here. Now what I did, I die cut these pieces out. So if you don't have a die cut machine, you'll need to think of another idea. But this is how I do it. I have nesting dies. And so I tape them together and I put them on. This is a piece of scrapbook paper that has been attached to a piece of like poster board. So it's pretty thick. So I only need two pieces per thing that I'm making. So I put them on here and then I punch them out. Now, once I have run this through my machine, all I got to do is punch these pieces out. But I leave this taped together so that I can go run another one and it'll be exactly, see, that one didn't come out all the way right there. I have to work on that. But if I leave these pieces taped, then it's ready to go down onto another piece of cardstock, and it'll be exactly the same, so I know that it will match. Okay, so let's do that part. Okay, so now what we have is two frames, and we'll set that aside, and two middles. Okay, so there's two frames, there's the two middles. On this guy over here, here's the two frames, and here's the two middles. There was a third middle because that one didn't cut out all the way right there. I'll work on that later. Okay, the middle guys, these things, you can just turn those into tags later. We're not even going to use those right now. So just set all your middles aside. So what you need, let's move you guys, two of those and two of those. And like I said, these are pretty thick. Okay, then you decide what orientation you want. Do you want landscape? Do you want portrait? I did these two in landscape. I did them that way. But it's according to what you're putting inside. So decide what you want to go in the middle. Okay, so since my last one had music paper, I've got this really very, very vintage looking dictionary page. So I'm going to use that. And I think I'm going to go this direction this time. Okay, so all I'm going to do is just kind of draw around the edges of this, so I'll know what size I need exactly to cut out. Now when you cut it out, you want to cut just inside that line, because you don't want this part to overlap and show. All right, so I'm cutting just inside, and you don't have to be real exact with all those little wavy things at the top, because it's not going to show anyway if you do it right. And like I said, if you don't have a die cut machine, you can just cut this out and cut it square. And then I just put it on for size, make sure, and see, it still looks like it's just a little bit big. I'm going to shorten that a little, and I'm going to shorten that just a little because we don't want it to overhang. All right, let's try this. Oh yeah, and always check and make sure you've got a good word. Whatever your words are showing, you wouldn't want a bad word there showing. Okay, still not happy with that. I'm picky, I guess. All right, I just love the way that is so vintaged looking. Vintaged. I made up a new word. Okay, so I'm just going to take a little bit of glue, and let me tell y'all what happened to my glue. I lost my topper, my stainless steel topper. I lost it. It's here somewhere, but you know, and I can't find it, so I put that pin down in there, and that pin is rusting in my glue. So I end up with distressed colored glue. I guess that's not a bad thing. Okay, so there's my book page. Now I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to find the back side and do the same thing. Now, if you want to, and I thought about doing this last time just for fun, to put a piece of cellophane over there. If you wanted to do that, you could, just to kind of give it a little clear window or something. But for the sake of time, I'll just do it just with the paper. And since this paper is old and vintage, I'm going to have to be real careful that I don't accidentally, punch that through. This is some of my layers of where I told you I had it glued to the poster board, and it's trying to let go. Okay, then you're just going to line that up, glue that together, and then all you really got to do, the only thing you've got left to do, is embellish it. Now, if your paper is not so distressed, then you might want to distress your paper first or last. It really doesn't matter. And then I just come in here with my ink, and I distress all the edges. And you can use any color ink you want to. This is walnut because that's what I've got right here. But you can use any color you want to. So just kind of distress that up. There we go. Okay, so now all you're going to do, where's our prototype? Here we go. Now what we're going to do, I'm going to get off of this now. I was using that to bear down on. You're going to put an eyelet up here and an eyelet down here. So let's do that. So you can use any tool you have, but I am going to use this smaller crocodile, and because it punches the exact size hole that I want, and have to kind of be careful because this bottom don't have a whole lot of room there. All right, then I'm going to put the eyelet in, and since this is so thick, you could actually do it without the eyelet if you wanted to, but I have a thing for eyelets and metal embellishments. I love them. I can't help it. So I just put them in there. It's just a little extra security too. It certainly doesn't hurt. And it just, I don't know, I just think it makes it look so good. So all I'm doing is squeezing in my eyelets. Okay, so now your eyelets are done. So we'll do the bulb pin last if you want to. Down here, I put a jump ring. Let's see if you can see that. There's a jump ring right there. I tied on a little piece of sari silk and a little piece of burlap, and then another bulb pin, and then all of my little goodie embellishments down here. Okay, so let's see. Let's get a bulb pin. Okay, so y'all know me. I like to put beads on my bulb pins. It just adds a little extra. So I just kind of looked at the colors that's in the front of this, and I chose some beads that I thought matched. So It doesn't matter. You can put any amount of beads in any order that you want to put them. I may have done it exactly the same, but that's fine. It doesn't matter. All right, so so here's our bulb pin for the top half, and that's what we're going to hang it from. So you can pin that to something. It could be on a page edge either. A page edge or a spine dangle. Now we need a large jump ring, another bulb pin with beads on it, and just some dangles. Okay, so what I'm doing now, I've got me another bulb pin here. I am going to put, let's see, I've got 3 things hanging from that one. So we'll make 3 things hang from this one. Okay, so for starters, I think I'm going to go with this. So this is just a dangle, a beaded dangle that I made. I put a jump ring on it, which still don't look straight. Okay, so we'll put this guy here. And then next, I wanted to use this little bitty piece of chain. And from that chain, I want to dangle this charm, which is a little fairy. And she's so cute. Oh, I just realized she's got 2. She has 2 places to hang a chain. Well, phooey, I wasn't going to use but 1. I could do 2, but okay, I think I'll save her for something else. Okay, this will work instead. This is a little charm that looks like a seed pack. It says seeds on it. So I want to hang it from the bottom of that chain. So I'm going to take a jump ring. I'm going to open it up, and I'm going to put that jump ring on that last chain and close. And I know you're supposed to do this with 2 pliers. I do have 2 pliers, but I didn't do it that way. So do as I say, not as I do. All right, let's put on a little gold one. And so what I did, you can do anything you want to. I put 2 beads and a dangle. I meant to go. Oh, yes, I did that right. 2 beads and a dangle. Okay. 2 beads. Where you at? And a dangle. The chain, I'm counting that as a dangle. Okay, let's see what color I need now. Let's have the cream. So we're going to go 2 beads, 1, and, oh, I forgot I had these shiny ones. Let's do a shiny. 1, 2. And then for the last dangle, I'm going to use another one of those little cutie patootie things. I just think they're precious because they're so itty bitty. These little Tim Holtz paper, safety pins. Let's have a shiny one, and let's have a brown one, and another shiny. And I think we might can get 1 more. Oh, that is so tiny. Okay, so now what I want to do, I want to grab this guy on his little, that bottom coil right there, as opposed to the top, so that I know it always hangs down. It always hangs the way I want it to hang. Now it goes in to the bottom. Okay, no it doesn't. And see, this is how I learned this. It doesn't hang right when you hang it from that. We have to use another jump ring. Okay, so we're going to open another jump ring. Come here, you. Go ahead and close this guy. Put a jump ring in. Put a jump ring in. And now we're going to close it the proper way. Okay, there we go. See, now it hangs right. It gets hung up in there if you don't hang it, if you don't do that. So you could say, okay, here's this one. It's finished. Isn't that cute? These are so much fun. And like I said, I put the shiny glossy accents in there. Couldn't decide if I liked it or not. So I think I'm not going to put it in here. But I will put something like maybe some Mod Podge or something just to kind of strengthen that a little bit. And the only other thing I would do is just take a little piece of, see how I put a little piece of sari silk and a little piece of burlap? I would just tie a little something. So I've got a little piece of twine here. It comes on this roll like this. So move it out of the way. And because I think it's too big, I think it's just a little too much for such a tiny thing, I just shred it down to where I've just got 1 ply. And I'm going to put that in the middle, and I'm just going to tie it. And see, it's all unraveling, and I'm like, that's what I wanted. I would have made it do that if it didn't do it on its own. I would have done that, which I'm still going to have to do because I'm going to cut it down. All right, so I just tied that, and then you just cut it down whatever size you want them to be. Where's the other one? There it is. And then I just kind of go against the grain a little, if I can find it, and untwist it. There we go. Now see, ta-da, it's all done. There's that side, there's that side. It's cute on both sides. Doesn't matter which side you use. Okay, so that's all there is to that one. And really, this is about the same thing. This is 2 layers, different shape, paper, been distressed. I put eyelets in the top. I hung chain from the 2 eyelets, and then I hung some dangles from this side, and I put a pin up here and just beaded it up. That's really all there is to these, guys. They're not hard. I added a little piece of lace and button. This one, I put my dangles on this side, put my little piece of chain with my beads. So they're not hard. That's all there is to that. And if you want to make one like this, you could use a paper clip, safety pin, doesn't matter. It's the same thing. But now I just made a little banner. I, wrapped it over, cut it at an angle, and then I cut it here because I wanted my little fuzzies to show. I put 3 eyelets and hung 3 dangles. And your dangles can be anything. Like I did beads here, and I did a swirl on the bottom. This one's just a leaf, just a charm. This one, it's nothing but 3 large jump rings and a daisy spacer at the bottom. Just anything in the world works. Anyway, guys, I hope I've inspired you again to go out there and get creative and have a blessed day. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.